Hello there and welcome back to another Thunder's Productions video. I'm the madman behind the mic, Jag Thunder, and this is Minecraft. And what's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Military Airfield. Alright, so we are moving on. We are down here at the B52 Hangar Bay. So this is what we're going to be building in the next couple episodes. This should be pretty awesome. Pretty excited about this. And I said pretty like 4 times. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, we finished up the tower on the last set of episodes, and that turned out really well. And then we talked about some different things that we're going to be building, and the B52 Hangar Bay was next on the list. So that's what we're doing. So hopefully you follow my tutorial and you have your own B52, and you can follow along. This will be kind of tutorial style as best as I can do it. So I've already got some things laid out off camera to make things a little bit easier. People will ask about different dimensions. So here's what we have. We have a footprint of 54 long by 87 on the wingspan. So that is the space that we are going to be building the hangar bay around or into, whatever. And it is 23, 24, 25 high. And I'm going to go ahead and go over the semicircle or half circle or whatever the hell we have right there in just a second. We're going to be sticking to the same materials as we've been using, sandstone. This one, I'm probably going to use some quartz slab, quartz blocks and quartz stairs on the inside to kind of trim things out a little bit and give it a nice looking painted finished interior. Not sure if I'll use the smooth yet. I've got a couple things laid out here I'm going to talk about in just a second for the doors. But anyways, we've got 27 on one side, 26 on the other. So if you come from this side, it's 27. Again, it's not going to really matter because by the time we're going to work probably back to front and then put the front bay doors on it, which will stick out past this. So this is the space that we actually need for the domed part or the radiused part. That's how I'm going to build it. I also noticed my runways are fucked up. My wheels are going to go on the grass. So I'm going to have to redesign my taxi runways here. The main runways are fine. Those are 67, I believe, or something or another. 67. That wouldn't be right. 87. Oh, God. They might be. Oh, that's for the wingspan. Dumbass Jag. Anyways, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure those fit over on the main runway. I was checking this one here, and they're too small. So I think is what I'm going to do. And, of course, I'm going to post some pictures over the screen. You've either seen them or you see them now. I'm going to add some extra pavement on the outside for that wheel and change the stripes a little bit. I like the picture that I'm using, so that's the one I'm going to use. So, again, 43, 43 split down the middle. And 23 to the top of the tail fin here, and then we're going to give a 6-block clearance above that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 above that one right there. So following along, we're going to go over here. I'm going to count out the dome blocks for you, and we're going to start. Let's see, how far did we go out here? Oh shit, I don't remember. Oh, 43. Nice, Jag. Anyway, so go out 43, go back 27 or whatever, again, someplace over the bird, and then come out by 2 blocks. So we're going to put down a quartz block, and then we're going to put down a sandstone block, and then we're going to go in by 1 and up 2, connect 2, and then 2 diagonal, and then 2, 3, 4 sets of 2, and then go over by 1, and then 2 diagonal, and then make this Z pattern. And let's go on the other side of the Z pattern for a minute because this other shit's in the way. All right, so 2 Z patterns, that one, and then this one. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 2. And then a set of 3. And then a set of 4. And another set of 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then across the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the middle, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And then repeat the pattern going down the other side. So what we're going to do is I'm going to clean house here, or try to get some of this shit out of the way. And is what I want to do according to the picture is I'll probably shift this after I build it, so don't just wait until I build part of this first and then figure out your spacing. But what I want is I want to have like 3 blocks out and maybe 2 in. Let me get this out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. OCD. And anyways, have like 2 in and 3 out would be like a nice pattern, I think. So anyways, this will go like that. And then the next one will go in like this. And then we'll move this one in like that. And then when we're all done, we'll just trim everything in white. I think will look good. So we just go on top and see what this looks like here. I guess we'll run those in, fill those up. Got a couple questions coming up. We're going to start picking back up on those. So I think I've got 2 or 3 questions from viewers, and I will be pulling from episode 6, I believe is where we're at right now. So I'm going to build some of this up, and you guys seem to enjoy the parts that are sped up. I enjoy the parts that are sped up. It makes my post editing a lot more enjoyable. So I spent a lot of time laughing my ass off, and it takes me a little bit longer to finish editing it. So anyways, I'm going to just build up a little bit here and see what we have. Something like that. And then we're going to go in the middle. So just drop everything back by 1. So we go in here and up. And then there. And, oops. Let's see. Stay to the inside, Jag. Inside. There. And got a few more ideas for some more Let's Builds around the channel. Kind of dropped the suburban house. I'm not sure if I like that or not. Now I know I'm gonna go back and smooth this out. Let's see. I don't know if I don't want to go out too much though. Wait a minute. What the fuck am I doing? Confused. Alright, so we want to put half slabs and make this look like it's kind of set back in. Something like that. And maybe these on the outside. Give it a more rounded look. And then some slabs on top of that. And that's probably going to build this up. So yeah, anyways, working out some more ideas on some more Let's Builds. The house series just didn't quite work out. I've got most of it done, so those that were following along hopefully got to finish most of the build. I will probably go back to it at some point. I don't know if I like that or not. I really don't. I don't think I like that. It looks kind of shitty. I think is what I'll do is I'll just stick with. Let's go ahead and get rid of this bullshit right here. Let's get rid of this. Let's just tear this right out and start this over here. Anyway, so hopefully most of you that were following along on the house series got to finish it, or the majority of it, and I'm thinking about doing some sort of an interior series, and there'll be more details on that later once I work some of that stuff out. Let's get rid of the slabs and the stairs, and that should be back the way it was. So I think is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stack some of this and see what that looks like. So let's go ahead and grab this, and I did set my timer, so I got to be careful because I don't want to grab too much. Let's try right here, and let's grab that and let's stack that. What was that, 26? So let's go 25. There we go. So that's about what that'll. Actually, I think I like that better. And then maybe once that's done, I will go back and then put some slabs in across here on the doubles. I think that'll work pretty good. Oh shit. I grabbed that blue from underneath, but that's fine, no big deal. And then you can see as I've got the quartz blocks underneath, and then I'll do some framing probably right here. Let's get rid of this shit. Let's get rid of that. So we're not going to have obviously no This is just for your guys's benefit, not mine. Let's get rid of some of this OCDage. Oh God, I can't have that. That's pretty bad, isn't it? I don't know. I can't stand shit like that. All right, so on the inside, I think for frames, like a frame, we're just gonna double everything up. Oh God, what did I just hit? Oh, I still got my there we go, thing selected. So we'll do something along these lines here, and then we'll split that in half, or maybe even more. This is on the outside here. So we'll put one more row. Let's stack that up one more time. Oh shit, I can't. I just deselected it like an idiot. So we'll go one more time here. And there. And here. And we've got a question from Jarek Barnes. And this was off episode 6. He says, when you were a kid, Jag, did you ever hear ghosts or have ghost stories from when you were in the Navy? Did you see or hear ghost stories, blah, blah, blah? And then he tells me a short story about his dad when he was in the Army. Fell and broke his ankle in Quantico, and basically told him to make it sound heroic when people asked him about it. So that was a pretty funny thing he shared with me. Anyways, ghost stories. Yeah, ghost stories. Probably got some ghost stories. I remember when I was a kid, I grew up in a farmhouse in New York. Very old house, probably 100 years old. So yeah, it had some history behind it. And when I was probably 6 or maybe 7, I remember we was getting ready to go somewhere, and it was a 2-story house and a full basement. And of course, my bedroom was upstairs. So we was getting ready to go somewhere, and most of the lights were out one evening, and I had forgotten something upstairs, or I was going to go upstairs and get something before we left. And of course, you know, my parents were waiting at the back of the house. I ran through the house to go upstairs real quick to my bedroom to grab whatever the hell I was going to grab, my coat or something. And as I got at the bottom of the stairs and I looked up, the lights were off, but I could see a shadow at the top of the stairs. And it scared the living shit out of me. I froze solid. And after a minute or two, I screamed or I let out a gasp or something. I can't remember the exact details. But I ran through the house, got my parents. We came back and we looked. Of course, there was nothing there. But it literally, I think that was my first ghostly experience. And I remember my parents telling me stories about the house that they had experienced that was, you know, kind of haunting. They would wake up in the middle of the night and hear like full orchestra playing in the living room. One night they got up, they heard a grand piano. One night they got up and the whole house smelled like roses. Like I said, a lot of stuff I can't remember. I was way too little. I do remember another incident where I was laying in bed again upstairs, nighttime. Woke up in the middle of the night, like a cold sweat. I don't know what the hell woke me up. Something woke me up, and I was kind of scared when I was younger. Anyways, I always would go to bed and pull the covers up over my head, and like peek out through a little hole, because I would always think there was something out there. And the one night I had done that, I had woke up, and I was peeking out the hole, and I actually felt the bed sink down like somebody had sat on the bed next to me. Again, instantly froze. Laid there for what seemed like probably an hour before I had the nerve to yank the covers back and look. And of course, there was nothing there. And by that time, you know, where it feels like somebody sits next to you on the bed, that feeling had disappeared, like somebody had gotten up. So that was freaky as hell. That was definitely freaky as shit. So those are probably two of my most memorable ghost stories that I had. Now, I've heard other ghost stories, of course, from different other family members from houses that we lived in. From the Navy, the only one that I remember is when I first got down to the Enterprise. We was in dry dock, and they were saying that there was a ghost in one of the weapons elevators. A guy that apparently had worked I don't know, during the construction of the Enterprise, the original, like in the very beginning, had fallen down the weapons elevator and died. Or he got hung up in the cables and it hung him or some kind of shit. I had never seen anything. I'd never heard anything. But I have guys, you know, that I worked with that swear to it. So, you know, whatever. Each to their own. I guess where does that go? Where does that leave me? Do I believe in ghosts? I can't say I don't, and I can't say I do. It's, you know, it's kind of like an alien thing. I'm one of those people, like, you know, I don't not believe it until I see it. So, you know, I kind of got to see it first to believe it. But I've had enough experiences to make me question it too. So I guess that kind of falls in the same line with aliens. Do I have any alien stories, or do I believe in aliens? Those, no, I don't have any of those stories. That figure that I was talking about when I was a kid kind of looked like an alien. Maybe it was an alien. Maybe it wasn't a ghost. So maybe there was an actual alien out there. We lived out in the country, so it's like the nearest neighbor was half a mile up the damn road. Maybe not quite that far, but it was quite a ways. I mean, if somebody ass raped me and I screamed, nobody would hear me. So yeah, lots of fun growing up in the country though. But anyways, thanks Jerk for that question. Get that one out of the way. And of course, Snowblaze, as always, has some questions for me. Actually, he says, I have 2 questions. It's up to you if I answer them in 2 different videos or wherever. What was your most heartbreaking moment for you when you were in the Navy? And tell us about a moment when you got to see action in the Navy. So I guess I'll start with the second part of that, action in the Navy. When I went in, there was none. Kind of boring, I know. I went in 93, so it was just after Desert Storm, which was in 91, I believe it was, 91. So I went in just after that and didn't get to see any real action. And then I got out right before we went on a full med cruise, so I missed a lot of that shit too. And I'm just going to stack this over, because we was in dry dock most of the time I was in, which kind of sucked. And then the last 6 or 8 months before I got out, we were doing shakedown cruises and requalifications and things like that. So I didn't really see any action as far as like gunplay, under like wartime conditions. I didn't really see any of that. Now we did a lot of requals and things like that, which basically is simulating war, launching aircraft, recovering aircraft, loading them with the weapons and all that kind of shit. So I mean, I did do a lot of that right towards the end, just because that was part of our training. So that looks pretty damn good. Yeah. So anyways, first part of the question was most heartbreaking moment when I was in the Navy. I guess when I didn't realize it then, but I kind of realize it now, is when I got out. I got out because my first child was on the way, and that was Tyler. For those that follow his channel, yes, I got two kids that do YouTube also. But when he was born, do I really need 2? Do I really need those? I don't think so. When he was born, I decided to go ahead and get out and not put them through that kind of life. I saw a lot of people when I was in, a lot of couples when I was in. That's where I was putting the framing. Split up, and the Dear John letters and all that kind of shit when I was in the Navy, and it was I was like, no way in hell, I don't want to go through that. I don't even want to risk going through that. Plus, I want to be home and and raise my kids or child at the time. And this is probably a little dark right here, but you'll deal with it. So I went ahead and got out. So at the time, I was kind of sad, but I was really happy too. So I guess now that I look back, that would probably be the most heartbreaking, because now I've got regrets, and that's probably the worst thing in life, is to have regrets. And it's not regrets that I got out and raised him. It's regrets that I didn't stay in longer, because now, I look back and I wish that I would have, spent more time in and actually made, try to make a career out of it, because I'd be retired right now, and that would be awesome. Plus all the really awesome, cool stories that I would have to share, not with you guys, but but with the boys too, and they would have some really awesome life experiences. Getting dragged around the world a little bit, seeing different countries and cultures, and see how other people live, and not so much live under a rock. Kind of like we do. We don't get out and see things, so you don't know how other people live. And that would have been really nice to experience. So I guess that would be my most heartbreaking moment from the Navy. So again, thank you, Snowblaze, for those questions. Hope I got them answered for you. I've got 2 more questions while I'm just filling in some dumb shit here. Chris Daly had asked almost a month ago, probably now, on Facebook, would you ever move back to Pennsylvania? And they says, sorry if I spelled it wrong. And it's fine. You just forgot the Y. No big deal. Would I ever move back to Pennsylvania? No. Do I miss it? Yeah, at times I miss it. The hunting up there is really good if you're a hunter or a fisherman. I did a little bit of hunting, not a lot. I think I touched on that in one of the other stories from when I was working on the tower, but I'm not sure, because somebody was like, Bambi killer. I don't need that one. So would I ever move back to Pennsylvania? Probably not. I don't miss the winter. I don't miss every time that it snowed. It dropped 2 foot of snow every time, because I lived just off of Lake Erie in the snow belt, and so every time it would snow, we got like feet of snow, and it was just ridiculous. It was fun when I was a kid, but now I'm older, and I don't like being cold. I hate being fucking cold, and I don't really enjoy the snow. And some of you are like, well, Jag, you got a WRX, and that's like the best thing for the snow. Yeah, I know. I hate that. I should take it up north maybe this winter, throw on the snow tires, and take it up and play a little bit, and not even go that far. I can go up here to North Carolina mountains, which is about an hour away or less, and maybe do some playing up there. So maybe will be on the list of things to do this winter with the Rex. We'll see. No guarantees though. It's still new, and I'm still babying the shit out of it. So, anyways, thanks, Chris, for that question. I appreciate it. Let's see. Josh or Daniel, he'd asked me on Facebook right around the same time what mod I was using for my inventory screen. He says he feels dumb for not knowing. It's fine. I mean, no, you don't know everything when you start Minecraft, and it took me a long time to find the different mods and things like that. I use too many items. This is too many items right here. I like this better. It's like not enough items. The only difference is not enough items is more. It has more shit. It's getting more clutter. There's more shit over here. There's more shit underneath. There's more shit on top. It's more for like crafting and stuff like that. And I don't do none of that bullshit. So it's just all it is just bloatware to me. There's too much shit there that I would never use, and it would get in my way. So I use too many items. That's what I've always used, and I need to leave that right there so I know where center is. So yeah, that was that question. It was kind of a question from Josh. I guess you'd call it a question or a statement or whatever. And then the next and last one for this video, Brandon Schroeder. He's got a lot of questions, and buddy, I think I keep missing yours. I really do. I went back and I've tried to find as many as I can. And the ones I have is a Hey Jag question for episode 5 of the Suburban House. I think this one would be a good one. If you had the power to control who was and wasn't allowed to enlist in the military service, would you allow people that were disabled from the waist down join? If so, where would you place them? What branch, department, line of service? I wasn't sure where to ask this question. So yeah, that's actually a really, really good question. I'm all for anybody that wants to go back in the service and serve their country. Now, I understand too that there are risks to be putting people that aren't fully capable of handling certain situations. Not that they're any less handicapped per se than anybody else, but there are certain situations that require certain things. But there's also a lot of jobs that those people can do. Or shit, I grabbed the wrong one. There's my timer. Yeah, I actually set my timer this time. That they can do even better than fully equipped people. So I don't think not letting them rejoin or going back in the service just because they have challenges now. I think different positions can be created, or they can go through and analyze each one and say, okay, well, what can you do? Let's put them through some sort of a test, I guess you would say, to make sure that they could do that, fulfill that position. Okay, kind of like qualify for it, but at least give them a chance. They served once. If they want to serve again, absolutely let them serve. Or somebody that hasn't served that wants to serve, absolutely give them a chance. I think that's probably one of the proudest things that you can do, for your country and for yourself is to serve in the military. It's not only good for that, it's a good experience. Especially for younger people straight out of high school that need a little bit of straightening up, or little direction in their life. Have been pampered most of their life by mommy and daddy, and need to get a little bit of self-reliance. The military is just an awesome place to do that, and I really think that most or all people should at least have to experience, or at least give it the 4-year minimum requirement. But absolutely awesome question there, Brandon. I think everybody should get a chance to serve, reserve. Even older people, like myself. I know they just raised the age limit for re-enlisting in certain branches. Now the Marines is not quite as high. It's more physically demanding. I can completely understand that. But like your Coast Guard, I think that's up. They raised that up to like 40 or 41 now. I could actually go in the Coast Guard if I wanted to. I don't think my body is capable of handling that kind of abuse anymore. So that's kind of another thing, and that has to be up to the person that is joining. What their body can withstand, or can tolerate. But I think, like I said, even people older than that, I've seen on forums, different military forums that I've read in the past, when I was looking to re-enlist, different ages and stuff. There's people on there that was, 50, 55, 60 years old that, joined when they were 18, and then they got out, or they got, were forced out, because there was, no advancements, and, they want to go back, and they're in the, even better shape now than they were, back when they were 18, and and they want to serve, and the government restrictions won't let them serve, and I know I don't agree with that. I don't think it's fair. I think they should have a chance to prove themselves too. Send them to boot camp. Let's see what you got, and if they can perform, let them have it. So that's how I feel on that. So hopefully I have answered that question for you, Brandon. I really appreciate that question, and hopefully that was, like I said, a good answer for you. Appreciate all the questions in this episode, guys. I think that is going to be good. A lot of this is just kind of boring, repetitive stuff. We've already got the design here. I'm just going to work it front to back on the other side, from this blue line to the other blue line, and fill that in. And in the next episode, we will lay out for the front and the rear door, which the rear door will be the same as the front. And we'll start laying all that out. And then in the next episode after that, we'll work on the side stuff and how it connects in. And then maybe the fourth episode, we'll tidy everything up, or it should be done in the third episode. So anyways, hopefully that was a pretty good episode for you guys. I think I talked most of the way through it. the best I could, so hopefully the commentary was good. And I probably didn't speed anything up. Maybe I did, just to make it funnier. So anyways, guys, really appreciate you watching and supporting this series. Keep the questions coming as long as you got them. If not, don't worry about it. Eventually I'm sure we're going to run out of questions, and that's fine. I can just start reading comments or whatever. And that's it, guys. Like always, I appreciate you watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.